There are days in your life you discover something had changed. There are those days in your life when you discover something had changed. December 31st, some years ago, I think it was December 31st, 2012, my youngest son was not born yet, and my family and I went on vacation to Argentina. And we arrived a couple of days before December 31st, but for you to understand, the celebrations of New Year in Argentina are very loud. There are fireworks until 6 or 7 a.m. Nobody sleeps. People add a lot of calories to their bodies. It's very noisy everywhere. Buenos Aires, especially because people live in apartments, big buildings, so people go out to the streets to shoot their fireworks. It's loud music, parties, and so on, and I hate it. Well, we all gather at my wife's aunt's house where we were staying, and both sides of the family came to be with us. So we were close to 30 people in that house. So it's 10:15 p.m. and I am tired. I really need a break. A lot of kids, a lot of noise, and they start, with the noise before New Year. So who cares for the celebration of New Year? I said, let's toast now. Let's wish all each other Happy New Year. Let's go to sleep. And we wake up tomorrow morning. What is the difference? 2 hours. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. 2 hours earlier, we all find 10:15. I think it's good. I have no patience for all this nonsense that is taking place here. Let me go to sleep. Let's celebrate now. So the answer was no. We have to wait until midnight. We have to wait until midnight to toast, and then we eat 12 grapes to wish, without breathing, to wish all each other Happy New Year. And I'm thinking, what is that nonsense? I mean, what is all that all about? I cannot understand that. I want to go to sleep. Let me go to sleep. It's time. So here comes my moment of inspiration, and I think it was a revelation. So I said, okay, I will be patient. I will stay. I will wait until midnight. I will toast. Only if never, ever again I hear you complaining that the Passover Agada is long and we shall skip some parts of it. There was a big silence in the room. I knew on that very moment, finally, my family got that I am a rabbi. Well, since then, they never visit us in Pesach, but it's okay. It's still okay. So why am I telling you all this story? I'm telling you this story because I had two options today. One was to talk about the Metzorah and the skin diseases and all that. And the other option is to talk about Shabbat Agadol, this special Shabbat that takes place usually, or not usually, always before Pesach. So I decided to talk about Shabbat Agadol. The Shabbat Agadol before Pesach, it takes that name usually because the Shabbat before Pesach, the rabbi gave a long sermon. Not today, no worries. In ancient times, the rabbis will talk about all the halachot, all the different rules, and go over how to make a microwave kosher and all these type of things before Pesach. So what products in the market are okay, what are not. So back then, the people had the virtue to wait and listen. They were patient. They heard the sermon, they took the time. They had patience. What a great virtue. They had the time to hear the rabbi speaking. Well, going back to the Passover Agada, there's one big question we have in the Passover Haggadah, and it is why do we say, or do we base, the biggest part of the Haggadah is based on a paragraph that starts with the words Arami Obed Abi. A wandering Aramean was my father. From all the text that we have about the Exodus, about going out from Egypt, we choose one from the book of Deuteronomy. Aren't we complicated people? I mean, why do we do that? Talk to me about crossing the Red Sea, Parashat Beshalach, or whatever, the plagues, if you want, or when we put blood on the doorspot. No, we decided to go to Deuteronomy chapter 26. And I'm going to quote for you. My father was a wandering Aramean, and he went down into Egypt with a few people and lived there and became a great nation, powerful and numerous. But the Egyptians mistreated us and made us suffer, subjecting us to harsh labor. Then we cried out to the Lord, the God of our ancestors. The Lord heard our voice and saw our misery, toil and oppression. So the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, with great terror and with signs and wonders. One explanation will say it was the text that people knew because this text was used when? Which celebration? Which holiday? In Shavuot, exactly. Every year they came in front of the high priest, brought their first fruits, and they said, my father was a wandering Aramean. So if we use it on Shavuot, why do we use it in Pesach? What? One explanation is they knew it. They knew it by heart. Another explanation says that this was a text that spoke to a new generation. All those who left Egypt had died, and the text speaks to the new people. It is relevant because no generation will be in the past in Egypt again. But now they connect to a text that speaks to them because they are in the new land. Maybe a modern text or an accurate text for the new generation, that's the reason we include it in the Passover Haggadah. And I would like to suggest that this text relates us to being patient. If we want to know about the story of Pesach, we will tell you all our story, from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, from the very beginning, because the night of Pesach is a night to be patient. It's a night to be with your family, to learn about your past, to talk, to have a different night. I would like to tell you something that happens nowadays. It's a new trend in Argentina, where, as you may have heard, I come from. In Argentina, now all the restaurants, they have a basket on each table, so people can leave their phones there. On each basket, there is a sign that reads, the first one to take the phone pays the whole bill. And it's real, I didn't make this up. This is the new image of slavery. We have a free minute and we go to our phones. We cannot wait in line with patience. Just waiting. We need our phones. We just need them. Am I right? Yes. So next Friday, when you sit around the table, put your phones down. Shut them off. Do not use them during the Seder. Talk to your family about that. Feel free one night in the year at least. Talk to your friends, to your family, and have patience. Make a basket that says, the first one who picks the phone reads the Haggadah twice. That's a good one. And the kids will ask, oh, why this night is different from all other nights? Why we have this basket here? So be with your family and with your friends. That's the message of the Pesach. So now I have a question. Does anyone here remember what were the first sentence on my sermon today? How did I start my sermon? Anybody remembers? Yes, what's your name? Ayla? Kayla. Sorry? New Year. Yeah, I start talking about New Year, but I'm asking the first sentence. So the first sentence I said is, there are days in your life you discover something had changed. Now you remember? Otherwise I will repeat it all over. No? Okay. There are days in your life you discover something had changed. If you are patient, if you have a real Seder with your family, a time to talk without a phone, to discuss about your past and your future, I am sure you will feel that something had changed. Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. We continue with the Musaf service led by